time to talk about sports again. This time around, we have to look at those matches that were played the English Football League, Carabao Cup, as some people call it, and also look at the Spanish Copa del Rey that was featured on Wednesday. Starting on the show, I am Adeni Ajishafe on 360 Sport on Trust TV. Now, having in the studio with me is Olawale Peters. Good to have you.
Yeah, it's my pleasure to be back to the studio, Adeni.
Okay, now let's quickly look at activities in the world of sports. Chelsea, they did well, even though Tottenham Hotspur fan said they will win that game. But Chelsea carried the day. They won that game 2-0, silencing Tottenham Hotspur. It was a good one for Chelsea. And you just have to look at the fact that they were able to do well. A lot of people never gave them the chance to win, if I remember while we were talking about it. And someone said, if you look at form right now, you want to give it to Tottenham Hotspur. But Tottenham Hotspur right now, they went down, and Chelsea was able to at least scoop this 2-0. Okay,
there's one thing about football, especially when it comes to derby. When it comes to derby, everybody, they have their own key. And when it comes to a match between Tottenham and Chelsea, I'll always take Chelsea because of the history between the two teams. And then the coach yesterday, he did something different from what he has been doing concerning the formation. Instead of his normal 3-5-2, he played 4-4-2 yesterday, and we saw the results. Even not because they wasted some chances, it would have been more than 2-0 that yesterday. So that means it's trying to realize that it's not good for you to be rigid as a coach at times. You have to be flexible. Flexibility wins the game for you at times. You don't need to go, oh, this is the formation I want to use. Either I win or I lose. You don't need to do that. So it's a good one, but it's not over until it's over. They won 2-0, right? So they are still going to second leg with Tottenham. 3-0, 4-1. It can happen. So this same Chelsea team have considered 3 goals before. So nothing impossible that they will not consider the same 3 goals. So you're saying Chelsea
should not over-celebrate?
No.
It's risky.
No, they're not in the final yet. They are not in the final yet until after, game of football is not over.
So unpredictable.
Sorry?
So unpredictable.
You can't predict it. You can't predict it. So I think it's a good one, at least coming from what happened between Lukaku and the coach. And he played yesterday, and they won yesterday. It's like the team are getting themselves back together. So that's a good one for the Chelsea team. Then for the Tottenham also, I think this is the first defeat for Antonio Conte. And he said something yesterday that is going to be very emotional. Going back to Stamford Bridge, where he spent 2 seasons, he won a Premier League and FA Cup. So winning will be something that he will so much cherish. And you know one thing about Chelsea team, when their former coach is coming back to play against them, they did it to Mourinho.
They always want to prove a point.
They always want to prove a point that, no, you can't have it twice. So that happened yesterday also. However, they are still going to meet Tottenham, and until after the 90 minutes, we'll know who qualify for the final.
It's not over or it is over. That's the talk. We're just looking at what Chelsea had against Tottenham Hotspur in that game they played over there at the Stamford Bridge. The second leg will also be in the city of London, but this time around, the home of Tottenham Hotspur, who will carry the day. Antonio Conte can turn the table around because Chelsea fans have to be very, very careful celebrating that win against Tottenham Hotspur there. But I love the fact that Lukaku, given the chance, he also proved himself. And that heart-to-heart that he had with his manager, Thomas Tuchel, brought so much joy to a lot of fans. And for the fact that he apologized to the fans all over the world and making, okay, I'm sorry, what I did was wrong, I'm ready to play. That's what Aubameyang should do, looking at Aubameyang's scenario. Maybe I'm not saying you should say sorry to people, but at least you should have that good relationship with Mikel Arteta. Don't you see it that way?
Okay, I think we shouldn't judge.
No, I'm not judging him. I'm saying that should have been the situation between Arteta and Oba. Both of them should have at least come to a particular point where they can say, if Oba is withdrawing, the coach should get him closer.
Okay, you know the reason why I said we shouldn't judge? Not to you. I'm talking about Lukaku and Tuchel. In the next 3-4 months, what happens if Lukaku goes back to the press and said, I'm still not happy?
He should not try that. If you should try that.
Nobody believed that Lukaku made such a statement.
Okay. But I believe he won't do it again.
It's very unprofessional of him to have said that.
He won't do it. go back to the press and talk, then it means he doesn't want to play.
Do you ever believe that a player that they bought for £98 million after like 2 or 3 months will come and said, I want to go back to Inter? It's like C. Ronaldo telling Rangnick
that I want
to go back to Juve, I want to go back to Real Madrid. You don't do that. You don't do that. However, I'm not going to say maybe they've made it. Probably he has to do it because he must do it.
And he wants to play.
And he wants to play. So let's see what happens after a year or thereabout. Aubameyang issue is a perpetual issue. Not the first time and not the second time. And Lukaku is not a captain.
Okay.
Aubameyang is a captain.
So you need to show example.
A lot of people are looking up to you. So I'm sure if Lukaku is the captain of Chelsea and he made that statement, probably the situation wouldn't have been the way it went. So, and that's why I say I think Lukaku, you shouldn't allow the emotion to get. You can't be bigger or no better than your coach or bigger than the club.
After all, they are the one paying your bills.
They don't pay your bills. You are not the only one complaining about. It's not that the coach should play a particular style to suit you. No, it's to suit the team. His own plan.
You guys are 11 on the pitch.
11 on the pitch, so it shouldn't be that way. So I'm happy they put that behind them. So let's see what happens going forward. I pray and I hope it will not repeat such a statement again, because it's very unlike Lukaku.
Very unlike Lukaku. Looking at what happened between Chelsea, Lukaku, and also the coach there. Now, let's leave English Football League. Now, let's talk about the Spanish Copa del Rey, where the big boys had to sweat it out before they qualify. They scaled through, especially like Real Madrid and Barcelona. Now, the result there, Eibar lost against Mallorca, 1-2. Cartagena also 1-2 against Valencia. Leganes 2-3 against Real Sociedad. Linares Deportivo nearly play a draw with Barcelona, and they 1-2 there. Barcelona just have to make sure they win that particular game. It was a tough one for them. Atletico Baleares 2-1. They defeated Celta Vigo. That was a big one for Atletico Baleares. A lot of people never see that this team called Menos. They can be very giant killing. Mirandes against Rayo Vallecano ended in favor of Rayo Vallecano 1-0. As Real Valladolid lead, also they lost their game against Real Betis. That's understandable. They are both APS La Liga teams. You have Alcoyano against Real Madrid. It ended 3-1, but it was not an easy achievement from Real Madrid against Alcoyano. Remembering the fact that last season, Alcoyano dumped Real Madrid out of the Copa del Rey. And this season, in fact, they nearly, before the people had to come to we have to change this thing. If not, it will be like a weak cause against Alcoyano, because they almost went away with it.
That's what they call tradition when it comes to football. So if I have that hope that I can beat you because I have beaten you before, then it will give me the confidence that we are, irrespective of, you have Messi, Ronaldo, Mbappe, you have all of them on the pitch. Look at the game yesterday. They didn't show Madrid any respect at all.
At all, no respect.
There's nothing like I'm playing with Real Madrid. It's like 11 versus 11.
I see they were playing their own.
They are playing their own. So, and one thing about all this Division 1, Division 2, when they are playing the La Liga, they play with so much determination.
Look at Baleares dropping Celta Vigo. Unbelievable.
That is even Division B. They're in Division B, beating. So it's more like we want to prove a point, just like we have in FA in the English league also. So when all this Division 1 or Division 2, they are playing the main team, is an opportunity for the players to sell themselves.
It's true.
It's an opportunity for the team to make a name for themselves. If they didn't win anything,
at least
beating Real Madrid alone, you see the way they will jubilate, they will celebrate it. So that's one good thing about having a competition like this. And it's so unfortunate. It is only one out of them that won, and that's Celta Vigo, that lost their own. What will have happened if Barcelona lost their match yesterday? What will have happened if Real Madrid? Because the same thing happened to them last season also. So it's a very good one. So I think it shows that the fact that you are there, like I do normally say, doesn't mean that you are better than me. You have the opportunity, but I have my own opportunity also. I'll do the same thing.
And when Militao scored, if you recall, last season it was Militao that also scored. And before they were beaten. So a lot of people were like, is history trying to come and repeat? So you were like, what's going to happen now? This team have scored. Militao had to also, what's happening? Is it going to be the same way before they just have to rally around and find how to dislodge that? Is it avocado now? Alcoyano?
What happened in there, it's what they call experience. That's what they call experience. That's the truth. And no matter how they tried, the Madrid team, looking at the wealth of experience they have in that team, is what played out yesterday. If you are to look at strength to strength, tactics, they gave it to Madrid. And Barcelona also, they sweated it out. It was a narrow escape
for the
two big teams. So let's see what happened when I think they have some matches today also. Yeah. Let's see the next round of fixture and see what will happen. Maybe the big teams will meet themselves, or they'll go through the same.
The like of Sevilla will be playing today, and you have Atletico Bilbao, and all of them will be playing today. And the way it is, from what has happened to Celta Vigo, I'm sure they too want to tighten their belts very well, not to be defeated the way Celta Vigo was actually booted out. Yes,
definitely. They have to go back and look at, the game I'm playing, I'm not playing with Division 1 or Division 2. I'm playing 11 against 11. Tactics, set play, everything. They have to make sure that they have it in mind, because if they go there with the hope that we are winning or we are going to win, or the team we are playing, they are the underdog, what happened to Celta Vigo will happen to them also. And I'm sure they'll get ready, they'll be battle ready for the game ahead.
Now, still looking at the results again, if you can have it there. Well, the fact that Valencia was able to also win their game is something that they really have to celebrate now. Looking at the Spanish Copa del Rey, quickly, as we look at those results again, Real Madrid against Alcoyano ended where players like Militao, he was able to score Asensio in the 76th minute, and you have Figueres also. It was an own goal to make it 3, and you have the match between Real Betis against Real Valladolid, where they were able to win 3-0. William Carvalho, remember that man? Very good player in the 24th minute. Nabil Fekir, 27th minute also. And you just have to give it up to Iglesias in the 50th minute that make it 3-0. And still looking at the result, Rayo Vallecano pipped Mirandes by a lone goal there. Mirandes tried their best, but it wasn't enough. Lopez was able to get at the 97th minute on the dot. Well, Martins scored for them there. Celta Vigo against Atletico Baleares. A good one for Baleares, where Martinez scored. Martinez scored 2 a brace there in the 17th and the 76th minute, while Mendes was able to pull one back in that particular encounter. See, looking at the result now, Barcelona against Linares Deportivo. It ended 2-1, and you have to give it up to Dembele and also Jotla, who did those goals for Barcelona there. Real Sociedad against Leganes. Ishak was on song. Oyarzabal was also there, who scored 2, that's 1 penalty, and also one of the goals they are making it a brace for Oyarzabal and also Ishak. While Valencia against Cartagena. It was another game that we just look at. Otuno, while Sola and Sherichev, they were the scorers of those goals, while Mallorca versus Eibar ended 2-1 in favor of Mallorca. Blanco Lechuk scoring for Eibar, while Gaia, Martinez and Rodriguez were the goal scorers for Valencia as it went down in the Copa del Rey just on Wednesday. And now we quickly have to move away from Copa del Rey as we look at the Italian Serie A that will be coming up today. Matches will be coming up in Italian Serie A. Let's look at it one by one. Bologna versus Inter Milan. Inter Milan are now topping. They topped the year 2021 in this Italian Serie A, and now transferring that to 2022, which they are going to start. They'll be playing today against Bologna, and they will be playing away. Do you think Inter Milan can sustain the leadership position they are right now, topping Italian Serie A, and they will be playing away against Bologna?
I think today's match is a must-win for them. Okay, it's like we ended 2021 on a good note, so let's start our 2022 on the same good note. So I see Inter Milan winning tonight's match.
You see Inter Milan winning?
Yeah, because it's an opportunity for them to consolidate on
what they had last year,
and also to consolidate their first position.
Okay, Sampdoria versus Cagliari will also be coming up. Lazio versus Empoli. We know that Lazio plays also in Rome, and that will be a match a lot of people want to see. What will happen between Lazio and Empoli? Spezia, Verona, Atalanta versus Torino. Atalanta, a team that have shocked everyone when it comes to playing football in Europe. They'll be facing Olaino's team. Olaino is in Nations Cup, so he won't be able to save that team. Sassuolo versus Genoa. You have AC Milan, a big match. Let's look at this match. AC Milan versus Roma. Another big one there. We have two matches that are very big this for today. But let's quickly look at AC Milan versus Roma. Yes, it's going to be at San Siro, and it's going to be between AC Milan versus Jose Mourinho-led Roma. Now, you look at a particular player who knows how to talk and also how to score. Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Steven Pioli, that's the manager of AC Milan, against Mourinho. Let's look at it manager by manager and then team by team.
Okay.
Their experience.
If we look at team by team, I think the last 5 matches played by Roma, they won 3, they drew 1, and they lost 1. And if we look at AC Milan, the last 5 matches, they won 2, they drew 2, and they lost 1. Coming from that, the Roman, they are in form better than AC Milan. If you also look at the head-to-head between AC Milan and Roman, their last 5 matches, AC Milan have won 3 times, and Roman, they had 1 draw, and they won once. I think their last win over AC Milan was in 2019. So if you look at this statistic laid down, the best I think Roma can get
is a draw.
That's the best they can get from tonight's match. However, they will also want to consolidate on their 4th position. They are currently 6th on the table, I think. So winning tonight's match will move them closer to the 4th position, and a good way to start 2022. So it's going to be the best Roma will get is a draw. Why AC Milan, they have what it takes, going by the history and their current form also, probably to win the match. But it will be a very tough one.
Probably to win the match, it could be a tough one coming from Olale Peters there, analyzing the Serie and Serie A matches for tonight. And now let's quickly look at the other matches that will be coming up. We'll just look at AC Milan against Roma over there in San Siro. Salernitana, the team that right now, by the time you look at that team, a lot of people want, what is wrong with this team? We have 2 Nigerians. In fact, the 2 teams that are facing themselves, we have 3 Nigerians. Tyrone Ebruhi played for Venezia. Salernitana, we have Joel Obi and also Nwankwo Simeon, who also played for that team. And the 2 teams will be meeting today. Although we learned that Tyrone will be meeting up with the Super Eagles in Cameroon. He'll be joining them from Italy direct. But Salernitana versus Venezia seems to be kind of a Nigerian affair.
Yeah, I think it will be a very good match and a reason for both of them to leave their current position, because they are just like +3 to all the team in Italy. In Serie A. Anytime they are playing, it's a short 3 points. So this is an opportunity for 2 of them to prove a point, not to get a draw, but one of them to win the match. And I think I give it to Venezia.
Well, as you are giving this Venezia, I hope Salernitana can actually hear you and work harder to win. Now, let's look at Fiorentina versus Udinese. Fiorentina and Udinese, another big match there. We have a Nigerian, Isaac Success is there. Udinese against Fiorentina in the city of Florence. Can they do it? It is very possible, but we move away from there to Juventus, Napoli. Big one between Juventus in the city of Turin against Napoli. Can Napoli escape the hammer of Juventus, or maybe Juventus that will receive hammer from Napoli? Who knows?
Okay, I see the game also a very tight one, just like we had between AC Milan and Roma also. And the Juventus, they've not really been themselves this season. That's the truth. Probably tonight's match will be an opportunity for them to come out of their old self. And let's see the real Juventus that we used to know. So based on that, I think I'm going to give it to Juventus.
Okay, you are giving Juventus based on, is it performance or player by player or coach experience and handling?
Okay, if you look at the head-to-head, Juventus, they won more matches
than Napoli.
Against Napoli. So that they have the history and they have the tradition. Then number 2, they are playing at home. And you can't rule out the home advantage if you are playing especially in Serie A. Then number 3, if you're looking at the performance also, Juve, they are not where they're supposed to be. That's the truth. They're supposed to be among the top 3 based on their performance last season. So based on that, they will have that point to prove that, no, this is not where we're supposed to be. So based on the performance, the history, the head-to-head, the home support also, I give it to Juventus.
Okay, now looking at Napoli, yes, their striker, Osimhen, even though he won't be playing, I think I look at that squad that they can be very unpredictable at times. That's Napoli. They can just spring us up. When you are less expecting that Napoli will just spring us surprise because of the fact that they know that Juventus that they are facing, they are not a pushover. They are one of the top, in fact, topmost club in Europe, and the history behind them always beating, winning against Napoli, they might want to stake that okay, today we want things to be different.
Yeah, we can't rule that out. Also, it's like a determination versus determination, but definitely one will have an edge over the other. That's the truth. Napoli team, they are not a walkover. We've seen what they've done, and I'm saying Juventus will win not because of what the team did to Nigeria by not allowing Victor Osimhen. That's not the reason why I'm saying this. I'm saying this based on the fact that Juventus currently, they are in form. Okay, and if you look at the head-to-head, they have better chance to win
beat Napoli. Okay, now let's go to our last round of the show, talking about Sergio Dest. American that plays for Barcelona is right now as we speak. Now, Chelsea could actually, they are considering making a move for Sergio Dest, a player that plays for Barcelona. This guy could be an alternate to Lorenz Digne that they are looking at, but Chelsea are considering a move for Sergio Dest.
Yeah, it's a good move because every team, when it comes to January transfer, they want to consolidate on their team, a player or 2 players. Not necessarily that he will play for this season, maybe 1 or 2, 3 matches. It's more like a preparation for next season. So I think it's a very good one. However, I'm still thinking, is this the right time
to go for him?
For Barcelona to let go a player of his caliber, and is it the right time for Chelsea also to go? But there's one thing about Chelsea, and they don't really look.
I love that we that you mentioned.
No, the reason why I said we is they don't really look at their academy and bring a player. They are always interested in buying. That's the reason why they declared about £145 million lost. For the last financial year.
Yeah.
So it's not all about buying. You have to start developing and building players. So that will really help.
They should go the Arsenal or Barcelona way.
No, they shouldn't go Arsenal way because Arsenal last won the Premiership in 2003. So
no, I'm talking about getting players from the academy.
Okay, maybe they can.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about trophy now.
Okay, maybe they should.
You are stylishly.
No. I just want us to.
Was on the Arsenal fans.
No. I just want us to try and
Chelsea fans. Anywhere you see them, they are always so against Arsenal. Well, we've been talking football and sport here on 360 Sport with Olawale Peter. It's good to have you once again.
It's my pleasure to be here talking sport with you.
Good one there. Well, as we always say, that sport is fitness. And business parents out there, allow your wards to go into sport. You can actually help them. We've done our part for this time around. I am Adeniyi Ajishafe. Keep watching sport on Trust TV. Thanks for watching.